In 1997, a sailor named Charles Moore was crossing the Pacific Ocean when he saw something that stopped him cold. As far as the eye could see, plastic. Not a few bottles, not some wrappers, millions of tons of plastic, floating, endless. He had just discovered what we now call the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and the story of how we got here and how we get out is not what you expect. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch sits halfway between Hawaii and California. It stretches across 1.6 million square kilometers. That's 3 times the size of France. In the 1950s, the world produced just 2 million tons of plastic a year. By 2000, 200 million tons. By 2019, 400 million tons. The numbers are staggering. But here's what the data also shows. We know exactly where the problem comes from, and that means we know exactly how to fix it. The world produces 460 million tons of plastic every year. 350 million tons becomes waste, and 1 million tons ends up in the ocean every single year. That's 0.3% of our plastic waste. Now here's the hopeful part. 0.3% is a solvable problem. We don't need to eliminate all plastic. We need to stop that 0.3% from reaching the ocean. And the data tells us precisely where to focus. Most people assume rich countries with their packaging and bottles are the main culprits. The data tells a very different story. 81% of ocean plastic comes from Asia, not because people there are careless, but because of a simple, solvable reason. Waste management infrastructure hasn't kept up with economic growth. The mismanaged waste per person in Malaysia is 50 times higher than in the UK, 25 kilograms per person versus just 500 grams. But here's the key insight. Rich countries solved this problem. They built the systems, they developed the technology. That means the solution already exists. It just needs to reach the places that need it most. This is not a mystery. This is an engineering and funding challenge. Plastic gets from land to ocean through rivers. 80% of ocean plastic comes from just 1,256 rivers, out of tens of thousands worldwide. This is actually good news. It means we don't need to clean every river on the planet. We need to focus on less than 2,000 specific rivers, most of them in Asia and Africa, and intercept the plastic before it reaches the sea. Technology to do exactly this already exists. Organisations are already deploying river barriers and collection systems. The problem is concentrated enough to be targeted. Here's something that should inspire Europeans. Nearly all plastic around European coastlines came from European rivers. The Mediterranean Sea is a closed basin. Almost all its plastic comes from the countries surrounding it. Which means if Europe acts, Europe's seas get cleaner almost immediately. This isn't a problem where you're helpless waiting for others. Local action produces local results. That's rare in environmental challenges, and it's a reason for real optimism. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is real. The crisis is real. But so is this. We know the sources, we know the solutions, and we have the technology. What the data shows is not a story of inevitable doom. It's a story of a solvable problem, waiting for the right decisions, in the right places, from the right people. The world has fixed enormous problems before. This can be one of them.